Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Judy, and today what I'd like to talk about, and this will be brief because it's a pretty obvious answer, but a lot of people have asked me this question. Are religions today, any structured religion, are they actually fulfilling their purpose? Are they meaningful? Are they fulfilling to people? Are they feeding the soul? Are they making people feel secure and hopeful? That kind of thing. And I can only say from what I see or what I've sort of been taught. Religions were formed, and I talked about this in another video a long time ago, so I'm not going to repeat that, but religions were formed out of the need to make sense of what's going on in our world, including dying and birth. And we know that some religions are very simple, very, just love each other, be grateful, and do a good deed daily or something like that. Very simple. There's so many. I found out since I did that video, there's over 4,000 different religions on earth right now. Could be more today. Who knows? Maybe there's 5,000. But I think that stat was a couple years old. But most of the major religions also have a spokesperson, somebody who brought the religion, kind of sort of created it, or the religion was inspired by that person and what their experiences were, what the things they said or did or whatever. My feeling about religion, for me in this life, I did, as I've said in the past, I looked. I needed to know something. I needed to know what was true. I needed to know what made sense, because in my world, the religion I was practicing wasn't making a lot of sense. Even just the idea, for me, it was I was going to a primitive Methodist church when I was a little girl, and then when I got older, I kind of ended up in a Presbyterian church. Both of those were Christian, and they made sense to me, except I got to a certain point after a few things that had happened, and I had a friend die and everything, that it didn't make sense to me anymore. Now that's just for me. There are still thousands upon thousands of people who go to a Presbyterian church or go to a primitive Methodist church, and they find great happiness and great belonging and fellowship, and it makes sense to them. It just didn't to me. And so I think that what happens to us as humans is that we either go to the church or the synagogue or the mosque or whatever it is that our parents went to. And I think a lot of times there isn't a lot of questioning about it because it's a part of how you grew up. It's a part of your fiber, it seems like, and sometimes teenagers especially will kind of back off and have a lot of questions about this stuff. In years past, decades past, in fact centuries past, there was less likely somebody to question their religion. But as we have matured as a people and our minds have been open to so many wonders that even 100 years ago would have been impossible. I mean, can you imagine having a cell phone in 1922 or, no, that would have been a crazy dream that somebody thought up and could never happen. So we've learned a lot of things. We've matured, and we're learning from each other. And with the internet and all the things that we have to learn more information, I think there's more room for questioning. And that doesn't mean that their religion is wrong. It just means you want to be sure it's right. You know what I mean? But I think as soul, if we experience, for instance, being a Buddhist in a life, that is a very different kind of practice. It's almost not even a religion. It's like a way of life, of mindfulness. And I really think Buddhism might have been one that I would have probably ended up with. because it made a lot of sense to me until I found out some other things. But I think it fits a lot of people. Hinduism, Judaism, Muslim, Christian, they're all meaningful. They all fulfill a need in the human life. And I think we can't, as soul, be complete without actually understanding those different practices and having the opportunity to really not just read about them or hear about them, but actually, be in them, to be a part of it, to be completely fulfilled by those and believe, at least 99, 100% of the time what the practice is. So I do think they're fulfilling. I don't think on the surface they appear to be fulfilling things, because people do a lot of questioning and people leave the church and people come back to the church, and there's a whole lot of reasons that people think, well, wait a second, why am I being threatened just because I accidentally ran over a cat? Like, why do I have to beg forgiveness for that? It wasn't even on purpose, there's a lot of questioning going on in our minds because we are so much, I want to say we're more intelligent, but I think it's just that we're better educated. At the same time, there's a refuge with religion that we can rest in. And for most people, I think today, it's still the majority of people in the world cling to a religion happily, and would not want to change, would not want to think anything else. And in fact, maybe even kind of closed-minded because they're so involved. It's an experience, right? I mean, that's the answer to almost everything, I think. But when you think about if you were trying very hard to understand, not to just know, but to really understand many different experiences, then religion is an experience, and there's 4,000 of them. Oh gosh, I hope we don't have to understand them all. I hope we don't have to be in them all, but maybe we will, I don't know. It just feels like it certainly is a viewpoint, a perspective that is important for the growth of our soul. And so yes, whether it looks like it on the surface or not, to other people or to anybody, I think religion does hold a very important part of our lives, and probably is fulfilling the purpose that we need. So that's the end of that. If you wouldn't mind maybe subscribing, I forgot to ask earlier, or leaving a comment, hitting a like, I really appreciate any of that. And I would like to know what you're thinking. Do you think religion is fulfilling the needs of the people? Or do you think it's kind of falling short? And if it is, let me know what you think about that. How is it falling short? I just want to know what you think. Again, you don't have to agree with me. So leave a comment. More than anything, have a really, really wonderful day. And I will be back.